mga ka-PTech, welcome po sa isa na namang video ng ating PTech Licensure Examination for Teachers Review Program. Nasa session number 28 na po tayo, and for this video, ang ating pag-usapan ay ang assessment of learning focusing on performance-based assessment. So kung bago ka pa lang po sa aming channel ay pwede mong i-explore ang ating channel. Meron po tayong mga review programs for the National Assessment for School Heads and also yung ating licensure examination for teachers. So umpisa na po natin ang ating session number 28. Alright, ang ating session number 28 po ay ang ating assessment of learning performance-based assessment. So tingnan na po natin yung mga details ng ating video. So una, we are going to have our session objectives. So at the end of the very short session, the participants will be able to determine the attributes of performance-based assessment. Pangalawa po, we are going to define performance-based assessment. And for the third one, we are also going to differentiate product-oriented performance-based assessment from process-oriented performance-based assessment. No? So before we dig deeper, let's have our pre-test question number 1. A teacher asks students to create a community action plan addressing waste management and defend their proposal before a panel. Why is this considered an effective use of performance-based assessment? A, it focuses on written grammar skills, which is an essential in developing the other skills. B, it allows students to demonstrate higher order thinking, problem solving, and real-world application. C, it replaces the need for any other form of assessment. Or letter D, it guarantees that all students will receive high scores. So what do you think is the correct answer for our pre-test question number 1? Okay, tama ka kung ang iyong sagot ay ang letter. Of course, our correct answer is letter B. It allows students to demonstrate higher order thinking, problem solving, and the real world application, which is the very essence kung bakit tayo gumagamit ng tawag natin na performance-based assessment that is different with that of the use ng tinatawag naman natin na traditional assessment methodologies. Okay? Let's have question number 2. What is the primary purpose of using performance-based assessment? A, to measure students' ability to recall and apply factual information quickly. B, to determine how well students can apply knowledge and skills in authentic tasks. C, to improve reliability of assessment strategies. Or letter D, to ensure that all learners receive the same test items. Go. Alright, ang question number 2, ang tamang sagot po ay letter B, no? To determine how well students can apply knowledge and skills in authentic tasks. So the reason why meron po tayong tinatawag na performance-based assessment is that it is an innovation, if we may call that an innovation, related to the use of the traditional assessment na kung saan learners can directly apply the knowledge and skills that they have learned inside the classroom in order to manifest a certain level of proficiency na hindi traditionally nagagawa or traditionally nasusukat gamit po yung mga common na mga traditional methodologies natin kagaya po ng mga multiple choice questions, no? Just to give you the context. Okay, so let's now go into the details of our performance-based assessment. So we know that the PBA is an evaluative approach that emphasizes students' ability to apply their knowledge and skills in practical and in real-world context. No, just like what we have mentioned, unlike the traditional assessments that focus on rote memorization, PBAs require students to engage in tasks that demonstrate their understanding and abilities through various formats such as yung pagbibigay ng projects, ng performances, and of course, yung paggamit po ng portfolio assessment. No? So this method aims to provide a richer, more individualized assessment experience, allowing students to choose or design tasks that resonate with them personally. So we have to highlight yung paggamit po ng term na individualized assessment experience. So the reason why it is gaining more ground in terms of how valid, no, the use of the PBA over the traditional assessment is that nagiging mas individualized yung approach, no? So sa pamamagitan ng pag-design, no, ng isang performance-based assessment, uh, learners can now express themselves at nagkakaroon na ng sabi ko nga kanina, the teacher can now measure, no, the level of proficiency ng isang estudyante niya, no, na hindi nakikita, no, hindi kagaya kasi ng ng multiple choice assessment dito na kung saan if the correct answer is letter A, then there's no way that you can get the other half of that score. A is A, 1 is 1, green is green, just like that, no? Hindi kagaya po ng PBA na because of the individualized context nito, ang paggamit po noong tinatawag natin na rubrics, no, in scoring the performance or in scoring the performance or the whatever kind of either project oriented or product oriented man yan, nagkakaroon ng certain layer, no, noong proficiency level na pwedeng ma-manifest ng mga estudyante natin upang sa ganon ay makita, no, na kung saan na yung level ng kanyang expertise base sa objective na iyong dinidevelop. Okay? Performance-based assessments do not only have one right answer. That's what I am telling, no? Instead, there are levels of proficiency that may be attained by the students, no? So may mga beginning, may mga nasa middle level na expertise at meron din siyang mga expert level na tinatawag natin, no? Depende yan sa kung anong rubrics ang gagamitin po natin, no? Performance-based assessments can come in different formats and activities may be completed in either a group or on an individual context. No? A major difference between the PBA and other forms of assessment is that performance-based assessments require students, no, to demonstrate their knowledge in a particular context that is suited to the kind of environment they have and the experiences nung kanilang yung experiences nila and the learnings that they have gained from the discussion within the classroom. Types of performance-based assessments, meron tayong mga examples dito na ipinapakita, but of course, this is coming from one particular source and you can also look for other sources, but in general, ito yung mga common po na nakikita natin, no? It can be broken down into 5 categories. Una, meron kang portfolio, no? We know that a portfolio is a collection of student work that represents a progress, no, and activities that may include the drafts of students work to show the evolution, no, ng kanilang project. So pwede siyang documentation portfolio, pwede siyang process portfolio, no, that combines, no, a certain level of comprehensive picture on how the learners are progressing, no, in terms of the competency na tinidevelop inside the classroom. Pangalawa, yung on-demand task, no, requiring students to answer an instructor's prompt or respond to a problem within a short period of time with little interpretation. So kung ano yung binigay ni teacher inside the classroom, merong task na binigay, it becomes a kind of the PBA. No? It becomes a kind of the PBA. Depende sa konteksto kung ano magiging purpose, no, ni teacher kung bakit siya nagbigay ng ganong task. Projects last longer than on-demand tasks and such as an entire term and can require working in a group setting. No? Exhibitions, presentations of various kinds of student work and are similar to a portfolio but shared with more than instructors and parents. So exhibitions, a play, how do you call that? There are a lot of ways on how learners can manifest, no, yung kanilang ang kanilang mga skills, no, yung kanilang mga expertise, right? No, so for example, yung mga ginagamit natin, no, nasa performance ng mga estudyante natin in the TLE, ano pa, MAPE, for example, this can be included, no, in a form of an exhibition. All right. Instructor observation should be unobtrusive and occur primarily to read student performance and also to determine yung strengths and weaknesses ng ating mga estudyante. Alright? So there you go. Reference po natin dito ay www.ebsco.com and the notes were taken from the website actually. Okay, what are some of the key attributes of performance-based approaches to teaching, learning, and assessment? So we know that PBA can be designed to incorporate real-world problems and tasks, giving students the opportunity to develop and apply knowledge and skills in settings that resemble authentic real-life situations. No, maganda ang PBA. Sabi nga nila, mataas ang validity level talaga nito. Although reliability, medyo compared natin kay traditional like the multiple choice, medyo relatively mababa no, yung kanyang reliability. However, the validity is really very high. This is the most appropriate, sabi nga nila, because it is authentic and it can create no a real life situation or provide the real life situation in which the learner can really apply what they have learned in everyday situations. Hindi lang yung pang-classroom like kung ano lang yung napag-aralan nila in a numerical context, yun lang nasasagot nila sa kanilang mga papel. That's not what it is no in the PBA. Ngayon, ang paggamit po natin ng PBA, the learners can actually apply yung kanyang actual learning inside the classroom papunta sa real life situation. And the creation of that important context for them to manifest that will be the primary task no, of our teachers. Such approaches to teaching, learning, and assessment can be used to promote students' deeper learning and higher order thinking skills. Actually, there are many other skills that can be associated kapag gumamit tayo ng performance-based assessment. So it's kumbaga a whole of the classroom approach no, yung magiging resemblance nito pag gumamit po tayo ng PBA. Ang pinaka-importante lang dito is that alam ni teacher kung paano siya i-design, no? The most important part of which on how you're going to design that. Paano i-design ni teacher yung kanyang performance-based assessment. All right? So again, i-reiterate lang po natin yung PBA definition natin that it requires students to demonstrate or apply their knowledge, skills, and strategies by creating a response or a product or doing a task. Again, dito natin makikita yung dalawang klase na babanggitin natin. Either the learner will create a response or a product, or pwede rin naman na a demonstration of the skill, a demonstration of application of knowledge, no? Mga ganong example. Kaya nga dito sa baba, meron kang tinatawag na process-oriented or the product-oriented. Okay, so process-oriented, if you would like to demonstrate a particular skill, at product-oriented naman kung gusto mong ipakita yung level ng proficiency mo doon sa output no, na na-produce ng ating mga estudyante. Again, these are just examples giving you some possible ways on how you can apply that. No? Kung ikaw ay nasa pre-service at nagtuturo ng assessment of learning, pwede nating bigay ito ng mga examples. Kung ikaw ay teacher, nagpe-prepare ka for example for your LET, again, pinaka-importante ito that you go into the details of the individual activities like this, yung tinatawag natin na capstone projects, community projects, competency-based approaches, group projects or performances, hands-on projects, or independent work or research. All right? Internships can also be considered as an application of that, learning in more than one domain, no? Multiple opportunities to receive feedback and revise or redo the different tasks that were provided. No? And also, naging multiple layers of performance, kagaya ng written component plus an oral presentation, or a group component with that of the individual, with that of an individual component. No? Presentation before an evaluation or a panel or audience of community members. Ganun din, student choice within the established parameters and yung paggamit natin ng student self-reflection. There's no single right way, tama ito, no, to use the performance-based assessment. No? They can be used related to the following. Una, designed to evaluate the process used to solve a task and designed to evaluate the product. Either, sabi nga natin kanina, either it is process-oriented or a product-oriented. Process-oriented, demonstration of skill. Product-oriented, labeling, demonstration of proficiency gamit po yung mga output ng ating mga estudyante. No? Embedded in the curriculum or part of a standalone assessment, pwede rin. It can be formative or it can be summative. So, depende po yan sa purpose ni teacher kung bakit niya ginagamit yung performance-based assessment. So, either gamitin ito for formative, pwede rin gamitin ito for the summative. Tandaan natin, DepEd guidelines in terms of assessment of learning, pwede silang evaluate yung kanilang numerical grade ay binubuo ng written works, ng performance tasks at ng quarterly assessment. Saan papasok doon ang performance-based assessment? Nandun po siya kay performance tasks. Okay? One-time demonstration of knowledge and skill or included in a portfolio, single classroom or common across multiple classrooms or schools, and evaluated by the classroom teacher or evaluated by one or more external evaluators. All right, maraming salamat po mga Kapitek. There you have it, na very short lang naman yung ating video ngayong session number 28 ito, and we hope that we can provide more videos para po sa inyo. But for now, yan lang muna. Maraming salamat at magandang araw mga Kapitek.